Well, it's been kind of nerve-wracking, not knowing what's happening at my house, and I have animals there, and I like to get back in there.
For the second straight day, fire crews from across the Rogue Valley battle a wildfire. This time, the flames burn hundreds of acres and threaten hundreds of homes. Since the sun went down, the Pacifica Fire has slowed down. Fire management says the fire has appeared to stop any forward progress right around 540 acres.
Still, more than 100 homes are within reach of that fire. Governor John Kitzhaber has announced a conflagration. That means firefighters and equipment from outside of our area can be sent in to help protect those homes. Now, fire managers say they believe the fire started near the Pacifica Ranch. That's on Water Gap Road. It burned southeast toward Lower Power Creek Road. It ended up jumping that road but slowed down and was stopped before hitting the Williams Highway. Fire investigators are on the scene now but have not announced a cause or official ignition point. There were more than 200 firefighting personnel out on the Applegate today. We have a look at the Pacifica Fire by the numbers now. Fire first called in about 2:17. It grew, as we said, to about 500 acres. 5 helicopters, at least 1 tanker responded, along with 12 engines, 4 dozers. The last report, those dozers had lined about 75% of the fire area.
There was a lot of damage as well. 1 vacant home was destroyed. That wasn't the only victim. A shop was also lost, as well as a garage, 2 cars, and what you see here, which used to be a travel trailer. The firefight continues into the overnight hours, and we continue with coverage from Newswatch 12's Rob Scott, who has the latest on evacuations and those impacted by them. First, we go to Steven Sandberg, who got a tour of the fire's path and learned what it took to slow that fire down.
That's right, Aaron. I was able to get inside the fire lines and see exactly where it headed this afternoon, and it was making a beeline toward more than 100 homes in the Williams area, and not even breaks like roads were slowing it down. But a huge firefighter response and improving weather conditions turned the tide in the crew's favor. Another day, another wildfire. Crews from across the Rogue Valley raced to the Williams area as a large wildfire worked its way across the land and forced people from their homes.
I saw the first helicopters and the bomber come on the scene and saw all the rescue vehicles and police vehicles and fire vehicles coming from town.
It's scary, you see all the smoke and can't really know what's happening.
The fire was pushed along by the wind from Water Gap Road toward Williams Highway. It destroyed a vacant home and several outbuildings.
Around 4 o'clock, there was still enough strong gusts of wind that were helping to propel the fire along.
Firefighters say the fire actually jumped Powell Creek Road here and then continued to burn through dry brush, putting even more homes in its path. But once it reached an area of flat fields, the winds died down and the fire slowed down, which stopped it from reaching Williams Highway.
The fire slowed down pretty much there. It just kind of took off in some fingers, spotted out a little bit, but basically the whole thing just kind of lost its momentum out there.
That allowed crews to use helicopters, air tankers, and dozens of teams on the ground to catch up. By the end of Friday night, the fire had burned 542 acres, but crews had fire lines around 75% of the fire. And they said the firefight had turned in their favor.
Things are looking much better than they were, say, around between 4 and 5 o'clock.
Crews are going to be on scene overnight and into tomorrow, and they'll have extra help. The governor declared a conflagration, which means outside agencies can be brought in. Structural task forces from Lane and Linn counties are on their way, and 2 more will make their way there tomorrow morning.
Plan for these overnight hours and then into tomorrow.
Well, Aaron, these overnight hours are actually the best time to see hot spots. So crews will be out there mopping up and preparing for the crews that are going to arrive, and they're going to try to completely line the fire by tomorrow.